Hello YouTube, this is Jared from the game room bringing you guys my Restoration Shaman guide for Mists of Pandaria raiding. I've had a few weeks to play around with everything in some dungeons and work around with some stuff, and I think I am about ready to give you guys the down low on what's going on with Resto Shamans. This guide will be a three-part guide, first going over passive abilities, a second video going over glyphs and talents, just a brief overview, and the third video will be how all that comes together, and hopefully you guys will be able to get some really great information out of it. So first, I'm going to talk about the passive abilities. As you all know, our buff totems are basically null and void. We don't have them anymore. But some of the buffs that we got from our buff totems are given to us as passive abilities. These are Burning Wrath and Grace of Air, which Burning Wrath is the spell power buff that we used to have, and Grace of Air is a new one that gives us 893 mastery. Well, us and our raider party. We have a few other things that were mixed together. Purification now is what increases our healing spell potency, and it also is what increases our target's health by 10% of the amount healed up to 10% of their total health. Resurgence, basically whenever we have Water Shield active, we get a certain amount of mana back for casting certain spells. It's a little bit lower than I would have liked, but it's a nice mana cut. And then Spiritual Insight, which increases our mana pool by 400%, which at level 90, our mana pool is baseline 300,000, and we can get a meta gem that will increase it to 301,000 mana, I do believe. Lastly, but not least, with the passive abilities, we get Ancestral Awakening and Tidal Waves, which Tidal Waves, it's going to be probably our biggest passive ability that we have is Tidal Waves, because this reduces the cast time of Healing Wave and Greater Healing Wave, which will definitely have an effect on how we heal and our stat weights. But actually, I have changed my mind. I'm going to go over some glyphs in this guide. The three, well, minor glyphs don't matter. I'm just going to put that out there. So with major glyphs, we've got a few that we have the option to use. We have Telluric Currents, which basically gives us 1% mana back every time we cast Lightning Bolt, regardless of how much damage it does. So every time you cast Lightning Bolt, you get 1% of your mana back. Then we have Glyph of Healing Wave, which is the exact same as it was in Cataclysm, that heals us for 20% whenever we heal someone else other than us with Healing Wave. And then we have Glyph of Riptide, which takes off 90% of the first, or the initial heal of Riptide, but takes off the cooldown. So we're able to keep our tidal waves up literally 100% of the time. Which that there'll be a few things that I'll be able to talk to you guys about whenever we all get in full tier gear with the tier 14, as I think the 2-piece set bonus gives us a third charge of tidal waves. So this won't be as pertinent, but still will be very useful. A few other ones that you can use are Water Shield, which basically flips the roles of the active and passive mana regeneration that we get from Water Shield, which really isn't that much, and I would highly recommend using this glyph if you are having any mana problems that Telluric Currents won't fix. Then we have Glyph of Chaining, which increases the jump distance of our chain heal by 100%, but gives it a 4-second cooldown. Then we get Cleansing Waters, which heals someone whenever we successfully remove a curse or magic debuff from a friendly target. And then we get Healing Stream Totem, which is the resistance totem. Basically works the exact same way as it did in Cataclysm, except it doesn't do it baseline. It's whenever Healing Stream Totem heals a target. it gives them the resistance. And then we get Spirit Walker's Grace, which just gives about 3 seconds added to Spirit Walker. Spirit Walker's Grace. Which is good, especially on heavy movement fights. That might be a glyph that you might need to keep in your arsenal. So anyways, that's going to be it for this particular guide. Next guide, which I'll have a link to it and the third guide down in the description, and that will be over talents, which I haven't been able to get that down lower than 15 minutes, but I'm working on it, so bear with me if it gets a little lengthy, but there's a lot to talk about with talents and how they affect our gameplay. So anyways, stay tuned for that. If you have any questions about this guide or any of the other 2 videos in this guide, you can leave them in the comments of either 3. You can also email us at thegameroomchannel@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on Twitter at the Game Room Chan, or you can hit me up personally at the Lorenzus. And also, do not forget to subscribe for more guides and other WoW news, and other video game news for that matter. And that's going to be it for this guide, so I'll see you guys on the next one.